And we're live. Welcome back to Tierfiend Crafts. It is Thursday. Wow. 2 weeks in a row. Actually, I'm on a Thursday. And camera's being all glitchy wonky and go figure. As you may notice from the way everything in front of me is jumbled up and piled up. Gonna have a slightly different setup with this live. Whenever they get back inside, I am hanging out with my beautiful wife who's over here and doesn't want to be on camera, and our friends from Reaper Comics. I would like to give them a shout out and say thank you, because without them, I probably wouldn't be live right now. So there's that. But that being said, let's kick down at the table and we'll start checking out what we got going on down there. Alright, so in front of me is an awkwardly angled camera that I thought I had adjusted just right, but apparently it was slightly more askew than I was hoping for. Also in front of you is a piece I was working on earlier today. It is artwork for the system that... Oop, and I bumped the camera again. For the system that we've been working on. Last week, we did some work on this big beastie of a thing. I never did get any more work done. Let me drop these a little bit for right now. The lighting is dull.
Yeah, it's a little low.
Well, give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And let me get this repositioned. And then I am going to try to adjust it. Ooh.
There you go.
Does the warm light look better?
I'm showing you what I'm seeing.
Well, I'm asking your opinion. Because if the warm light looks better, then...
I mean, I can see it now.
I mean, it might help if I actually turn the lights up. Huh. Who'd have thunk it? Having lights low doesn't work out. Alright, so we did some work on this. I didn't get any more work done to it after the end of the live. But this is what we have gotten to. And over the course of the next few weeks, I'll do more work to it. But for right now, I'm not going to mess with this one.
Let me see your phone. That way I can do it here. So you keep talking.
There we go. So now, let's go back to this one. For this live, I'm actually going to try and finish up the work on the basic work on this. I'm not going to do any inking or any of the major stuff. I'm also not going to be using my architect pencils as much as I love to. For this, I've been trying to go back to traditional stuff. Can you do me a favor and go get the eraser off of the dresser?
What eraser?
It's a white one like that one, but it's unboxed. It doesn't look like it's been run through the dishwasher. All right. For the majority of this initially, thank you, eraser. I was trying to utilize as much of the pencils as I had available, and then I started realizing that I wanted to make edits and alterations as I was looking at it and didn't do it earlier. So I'm going to do that now. But, Jared,
Yes, sir.
have y'all guys watched any of She-Hulk yet?
The first episode.
That was it?
I made it that far at least.
Surprisingly, okay. I know a lot of people have actually bashed it and talked bad about it, but
I
truth,
actually kind of liked it.
I did too. Like the first couple episodes are built into series, which is understandable, and I'm perfectly okay with that. That's the kind of stuff that I kind of look for in a series. But I've noticed that a lot of series just kind of shy away from that. But they've done a really good job building into it. However, next few episodes are going to go a little bit sideways. Just going to let you know. But truthfully, it's actually a really decent series. Very enjoyable.
Problem is, I'm so far behind in watching all my stuff.
Right. With as much work as I've been trying to put in... Hi, Becca!
Hi, Becca.
With as much work as I've been trying to put in on game stuff and doing video and whatnot, I've kind of dialed back a bit. Like, I need to catch up on the newest episode later, but what I have got to watch has actually been pretty good. Working on
Sam
game
on
is...
too?
Sam's on. Hi, Sam! What I have gotten to see has been pretty good, but I think work was more prevalent in my mind as far as getting...
I thought we were working on the spaceship.
No. We were. I decided I wasn't going to for this life.
Oh, okay.
I
I was
just-
lost.
I decided I was going to work on this. Now, I'm not going to give everybody the complete rundown of... I'm not going to give everyone the complete rundown as to what this is. I'm just going to give you the basic overview in as much of a nutshell as I can. This is one of the racial variants to a species for the game I'm working on, along with my friends from Reaper Comics that are sitting over on this side of me, and my wonderful wife and...
Hopefully no cameras on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No cameras on and I'm like waving at the screen.
Yep, certifiable. That's us.
Yep. But
A bunch of crazies.
I opened the floodgates to the nut house. Alright. But this is specifically a race called Kess, to a species called the Demona. Even though that is not the original name of the species, it is the taken name of the species that they have decided worked best for them. And it is based on human lore and their own aesthetic. Now, this is not a final piece. This is really just a basic, rough idea of what I had in mind for this specific racial variant. And I went in earlier, and if you can see it, I doubt you can see it because of too much glare. I went in with a 5H, now I'm going in with a 3H pencil to kind of button up some of the more defined areas that I wanted to display.
Hi to everybody coming in.
Welcome to everybody coming in. And as much as I was trying to stay away from it, some of my love of anime like Dragon Ball kind of fluxed into the design of this piece specifically, which is probably what happens when you're watching Dragon Ball Z and drawing.
Yeah.
There's you unintentionally put Piccolo traits in something that obviously is not. It is a lot more simian in aesthetic.
I spelled writing wrong.
Writing?
Hi,
No,
Tiffany.
you did spell writing right. Yeah. W-R-I-T-I-N-G. Writing.
Hello.
Hi, Tiffany. You spelled that correctly, honey.
Oh well. Yay! Go me.
Something from the game book I am writing very specifically.
Alexis.
Holy shnikes!
Hi, Alexis.
It's an Alexis.
How are you doing? Hey,
Thank you, Alexis.
How did I not know you did this? This is awesome.
A lot of people probably didn't know that I do this. But as to your question, what was your question again? Because I had questions there. and then
Melting to death in California. I'm jealous.
She's jelly.
What part of California are you in? I want to go back to Cali.
The Exorcist.
Oh, it was reminding you of.
The beginning. That little idol.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
You realize how long it's been since I've seen The Exorcist? Just a thought. It has been a fat minute since I've seen The Exorcist. For good reason. Actually, there's really not an actual reason. It's just I haven't had an inkling to watch it. So,
Whoa.
Well, I'm trying to actually go through everything on Plex server.
right.
Alexis said the South Bay, thank God. My Tia's house, it's like 106 this whole week. It's actually starting to drop here in Oklahoma. Thank God.
Which is surprising
Don't
because
we have a tropical storm coming?
I think so.
maybe. Shoot. I haven't kept up with
Last time I
California,
heard it was in
honestly.
Mexico. That was that.
I think so. Like an El Nino or something? El
Oh,
Nino?
no, just a straight tropical storm.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't know if it got to hurricane status yet, but
It's California. There's no telling.
there is
All right. So
I miss
once
California. I miss
we
surfing.
get that in there. All right.
I hate being landlocked.
Well, you know what, lady?
Alexis asked, so is the book you are making like a TTRPG resource or like a story?
Both.
Yes.
The one I am specifically working on right now is a TTRPG book. It's an entirely new system, and I'm trying to do everything from the ground up without hacking stuff from other
D&D Pathfinder.
other games as much as possible, because like there are some aspects to other games that are really good, but then there's a lot of aspects to those games that aren't so good. And I don't know why I just drew that so awkwardly, because I know what I'm doing, and
Because fingers are hard to draw.
not okay, yes, but no. Fingers are annoying to draw. More accurately, fingers are annoying to draw in proper perspective. But they're not that bad. Like, I see a lot of artists struggle with it, and I don't know why, because like hands are fairly simplistic to me. Like the shape, the form I mean, yeah, every so often I go through and I bungle up what I'm trying to do because I forget what it is that I'm trying to do.
Hey, they don't look like bananas.
Hey, I got you some more paper cups.
Okay, did you take that bag that was over here? Yeah. That was my sharpener bag. It's fine.
I just started picking up after dinner.
After those wonderful tacos.
Ooh.
Yeah, y'all heard right. My wife made tacos. Man, speaking of DBZ, Adrian and I are supposed to go see the new movie that came out. The new Dragon Ball, what was it? Dragon Ball Super Heroes, I think is what it's called. Honestly, everything that I have seen from that, they have brought Dragon Ball into the modern era of anime and actually made it fit into the modern era of anime better than anything that we got in the 90s.
As long as it's not 9,000 strings.
Alexis said, you can just say Dungeons and Dragons is bad. We all agree.
And that's the thing, is like Dungeons and Dragons isn't bad.
It has its place.
It has its place, and it has a lot of beneficial things. But it's not the best. Like, it's definitely... Wizards of the Coast has not exactly done it justice as much as I think they have. And the fact that now there will not be another edition, it will just be a continuation of what were they calling it? Dungeons and Dragons
I think he meant to say isn't
or
bad.
X. Oh,
Sam said yes, that one. Tiffany said, I like it, but I've never been into Dragon Balls.
she's never been into Dragon Balls.
That's where she left it. Dragon Balls.
Ooh, you give me
Z. Becca said, we just finished Dragon Ball and now watching DBZ. Then so on.
I went back and decided to rewatch Dragon Ball Z.
With the kids.
Started watching it with the kids, and then I said, whatever. I'm gonna watch it by myself because I'm a horrible individual who would like to watch Dragon Ball Z every so often. But like going back and rewatching it, I forgot how hokey some of it was. But I think one of the things that I forgot more than anything was how weird the Android arc was, as far as in terms of writing. It was extremely awkward. And
Crystal. Hello.
Crystal? Oh,
Nona.
Nana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Nona.
But, like, Akira Toriyama didn't do bad with Dragon Ball. I think the one area where he actually did bad was GT. But most of that was just because Dragon Ball was done Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were done in an era where fast-paced anime wasn't as prevalent. It still existed, but it wasn't as prevalent. And so, for the time, it worked.
So Becca said we started watching it with Damon and then we went on without him because all he is about is Dr. Stone. Tiffany said I've been trying and it doesn't grab me at all. I started watching Attack on Titans and like the arts of anime like Claymore. Like the more realistic, the more it's going to grab me. I like Claymore, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think I've watched it.
You haven't watched Claymore?
I don't think so.
I have.
I did start watching, what was it, Berserk?
Yeah.
And that one confuses me. It's just like, why? Why is there an entire series based on it's kind of like One Punch Man. Why is there an entire series about a dude that is more BA than everybody else?
Wait until you actually sit down and watch Mob 100,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll say the same thing.
Just like, and that's kind of what's getting me, is like, what is it with anime being geared around somebody who is either A, massively OP for no reason, or massively OP for a reason, and then it's just like we have a decent story for a minute, but then that whole story kind of tanks off.
I don't know. I like Inuyasha, and I don't care what any of y'all say.
Inuyasha wasn't bad, and that was the thing, is like Inuyasha wasn't massively overpowered. Inuyasha was actually kind of underpowered. Sesshomaru was definitely a lot cooler.
I like
And if y'all agree, if y'all disagree, fight me. Because I preferred Sesshomaru over Inuyasha. Just because of that cold demeanor and kind of I don't give a personality, but
David wants to go as Goku for Halloween. I'm going as Android 18.
do it. Truthfully, the Android arc is where I'm at right now, so you could always do the Android 18 as a cowgirl. Because that's quite entertaining.
I'll give this to you.
What?
We didn't move Bobby George.
Oh well.
It's better still good, unfortunately.
Hopefully Bob and George are still on the porch. The skeletons.
Hey,
You
I
did.
seen one at the dollar store for $45.
Yeah. Dollar General had a fucking multiple skeleton for $45.
There was
I don't know. I mean, it was in the box and it was folded up with the legs and stuff underneath it, and it was probably about this.
Do you
So
remember?
it was probably normal, the size of Bob and George.
Do you remember what the price was on the ones that we saw up at Walmart? Because they had ones they were a little bit bigger, but
This one was pretty big. It was in the box. It was like right here.
And
So
it was
it's
folded
probably
up.
about as tall as me or her.
I know the one we were looking at Walmart was about the size of Jared.
good God.
It was huge.
Like the skeleton was literally you size.
Yikes.
Right?
Which, not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's mildly terrifying that there's a skeleton that's that big.
Yeah, that's a little overdoing it.
Caster really starting to get into Demon Slayer.
She said so proud.
Demon Slayer wasn't massively bad.
No, it wasn't.
I started watching it, I never finished it.
Yeah, me too.
And Becca said no to doing the Cowgirl 18. I still hold to it would be hilarious. But I've got to remember where my hands were, because apparently I've.
Well, one's underneath of your heel and the other one is drawing.
Well, no, I got that part, but
You just said you were trying to figure out where your hands were.
I
So I'll let you know.
apparently I smudged this thing earlier and didn't realize it.
Not just build character.
No, scars build character. Unless there's scars on your knees from running into your wife's hope chest. Those don't build character. Those are just annoying.
Yeah, I thought that conversation was about to go somewhere sideways.
Thank you very much. I'm paying attention.
Apparently not. You got scars on your knees.
Hey, 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 hey.
I don't know. I'm still fairly old school about my anime.
Right?
Trigun, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, for sure. Like there are some of the older animes that you can't beat.
I can't get into Cowboy Bebop. I've tried and tried and tried. I just can't.
Here's the thing: if you can't get into Bebop,
What's the other one?
Then-
Bleach? I can't get into Bleach.
then
either.
there's a couple more options.
I've tried
Like,
multiple times in my life.
truthfully, the only person I can think of that's been that much into Bleach is Seth. Like he diehard got into it, and I don't blame him. I mean, it had good artwork. The aesthetics were good, but that was as far as that went. Like,
Kind of my thing about One Piece.
right? It's like One Piece is so.
Tiffany said I love Bebop and Bleach.
I still love Bebop.
I like Queen's Blade.
Queen's Blade wasn't bad.
Desert Fun.
But back to what I was saying. if you can't get into Bebop, there is another option. There is an alternative. Samurai Champloo. it's the same creators,
Actually, I see your shampoo,
or at least the same writers.
and I will raise you Coyote Ragnar Show.
Touche, sir. Touche. Either way, though, I mean, like they're both great for what they are. Now, I mean, even Bebop is great for what it is. Bleach is great for what it is. Problem I have with a lot of anime is they have a distinct story, but then they run out of stuff because they end up putting stuff out way before any of the manga comes out to finish the arc that they're on. And so you end up with a lot of weird fillers for stuff that doesn't need to be fillered.
Fillered.
Oh, we started this podcast.
Oh, excuse me. I have considered the podcast a lot more lately, especially doing one not just on nerd stuff, but a few other things. I need to find other artists so I can do one on art stuffs. Because music's not really my forte as much as it is Arlen's. And nerd stuff is all of our fortes.
I feel like
But-
all four of us nerd out on different things.
We do.
Yeah. Like,
It's kind of funny.
I think there are a couple things that we all nerd, that all four of us nerd out on
Differently.
pretty close to the same. Like pew-pews.
I was gonna say, like dragons and shit.
Or
but,
dragons.
I wasn't talking about
But like that.
meow meow.
But that's the thing. It's like it is. We do all nerd out on different things. Yeah, but
Freedom Sea Shooters.
yep. And it's not shooters, it's launchers.
Sorry.
My bad.
My bad.
Freedom launchers.
Freedom launchers.
Freedom Sea Depositors.
Yes.
Because we have to be careful what we say.
Freedom seed planters.
Johnny Appleseed will be proud.
Oh, for sure.
Pewed once and dropped one.
I like cordless hole puncher myself.
Yep. Cordless hole puncher. That one's probably one of the better ones, for sure. Which one was that? Was that demo or was that electrician?
Yeah, no. I think that was Matarero, actually. Or Matarero. What am I doing? Brandon Herrera.
Because I know we've gotten some decent ones from Matt Best too. But
Oh, good lord. Yeah, plenty of those.
and if you don't know who Matt Best is,
Just look up Black Rifle Company.
just look up Black Rifle Coffee Company, and then be careful what you look for when it comes to Matt himself, because that man has zero cares. Nope, it failed. Ugh. See,
His abs too high.
this is where I start having some issues as abs,
Just all the ads.
because like it's not really my forte, because I don't usually put abs.
You have abs here,
Oh no, I
here, here, and here.
this is also not a human.
Yes, but I'm just going off of a human torso.
More specifically, this is nowhere near human.
So his ribs are here, right? You can see where his rib
Yeah,
is?
you can see where the ribs roll,
Okay,
and the
well,
ribs
then right underneath
themselves.
that would be an ab.
So it would be
Down, down, down.
here, because ribs, right in there,
Okay, and then go down,
down.
right through in there, and then that's where abs would start. Because if you feel where your ribs are, and then your ab starts right underneath it.
Then there is a whole lack of muscle between long ribs. You know what'll fix that? I know what'll fix that.
Looking at the picture.
Well, kind of. Looking up what it was actually based on.
And then when you look at it and go, oh, wow, my wife was right.
You know what, lady?
Then you get to say it live.
Nope. I'm not gonna say you were right.
No, you get to say that I was right live, so everyone can hear.
Okay. What it was based on is a bonobo, which would be that thing.
A monkey.
Yes, it looks like a chimpanzee because it's pretty close to a chimpanzee.
Aren't they like cousins or something?
Yeah. But
You just did.
and it's good to know that I done bungled up the nose too. Which that's an easy fix, but
So we're going with some Planet of the Apes mixed with some Exorcism.
I mean, if that's how you want to look at it, yeah.
With some DBZ thrown in there.
Yeah. Which, okay, to be fair, the species itself is based off of something I drew back in high school that was really just something that just kind of it worked for the time.
So is that right?
I don't know. I ended up just putting it up. Sorry. I'm not going to worry about abs. I don't care about abs.
Maybe they don't have it.
Not to mention these things, as far as the description for them goes, they're supposed to be extremely slender built. So
Hey, you have a slender son, and he's built.
all of them are built.
That's called good genes from your mama.
Go with that that less defined abdomen.
Your character reminds me of the aliens from John Carter movie books.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I wouldn't know because I didn't actually read the John Carter stuff. I watched the Disney movie, but I really wasn't so enthused with it. Like,
Who's John Carter?
Sure.
dude who goes to Mars.
I don't even know.
That's all there. I mean, dude goes to Mars.
Yeah.
That's the John Carter stuff.
Yeah, it's not the Matt Damon stuff.
No, it's not the Martian. But like the whole point of the creature itself being a hexapod is moderately based on the John Carter stuff without actually being intentionally based on it. The planet in which one of the origin species derives from, the species of the planet are simian-esque hexapods, just less that.
Just list that.
Yeah,
Your wording is great.
I know.
Words are hard.
Specifically, these individuals are the result of genetic alteration and modification. So, that they've been altered. Which it might help if I put the clothes on this thing. Might also help if I sit closer to the table so my arm's not stretched way out to Kingdom Come.
It happens.
It does. See if I can get that close. Now's where the actual Dragon Ball stuff kind of starts flowing into place. Like the way Akira Toriyama...
Sam says, I still think it looks pretty spiffy.
Well, thank you, Sam.
I don't know. I think it needs a sash.
He needs a sash.
I mean, maybe.
Miss Congeniality.
Truthfully, I had actually
He fights for world peace.
initially intended to put it in pretty much just a loincloth and leave it. But, and that's one of the irritating parts of trying to design creatures for for something like this, by stepping away from what's already been done, I'm left trying to accommodate what's in my head in a way that it's not confusing. Because it all makes sense to me, but that's the problem, is making sense to me is only so good. It's got to make sense to everybody else. You know, it would probably help if I would finish the leg, too. Or finish the toes. Because all three variants to the species have prehensile feet, which that took me forever to actually find out what the term was for monkey's feet, raccoon's feet, things that they're actually able to grab with. Yeah. Yeah.
I had to look it up for him. Because he was literally like beating his head on a wall. Like, I don't know what it's called.
It's just one of those words you've heard 1,000 times and then you don't think about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is weird because, like, I figured, okay, you have prehensile, we have prehensile hands. That's a thing because we're able to grab with them.
I can grab with my feet.
You know what? We don't need to talk about your weird monkey toes.
I don't want to hear it, Flintstone foot.
Hey, look here, lady.
Oh, we're back to only feet again.
Yep, we're not, now we're back to only feet. But
Their favorite website.
right, we have prehensile hands. Most monkeys have a prehensile tail. Oddly, I kind of figured since prehensile was the term for their tail, that something like a cat would have a different term. No, a cat's tail is literally just non-prehensile.
It's because I don't grip with it like a
No,
monkey's tail.
and I get that, but that's the term for a tail that cannot grab something is non-prehensile.
What about Bruno, Becca?
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Why not?
Mostly because I don't want to hear the song.
What Bruno ever do to you?
Well,
You have kids, I want you to
I am pretty.
I'm about to say,
I'm
when
pretty
you have
sure-
somebody under 10 and they watch it to the point where they know it
Right?
word for word. It's annoying.
I think one of the weirdest. I think one of the weirdest parts of drawing this, in general, though, is trying to get the feet right, because prehensile feet, in themselves, are awkward, especially when the thing doesn't stand on them like most
Yeah.
apes or monkeys do. They stand on the tips of them and roll upward. Which, if you were able to see my hand, something akin to this, but only 3 digits. So that's what they're standing on. The other species that was blended with the species that gives them their simian aesthetic,
Like pig feet.
I don't think pig feet is exactly what.
More clothes.
Yeah, that's more of a hoof,
Yeah,
but
but they have 3.
they do, and kind of the way that a pig's foot
That's what I was
sits, but
fingers.
with more elongated fingers outward. And that's where it gets awkward, is trying to draw that in a proportionate way to the rest of the body. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect artist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm still learning every time I get on here and do a live. I'm either A, figuring out something new, or
Researching.
researching something and doing it. and going from there. But it is awkward, to say the least, to try and draw something out that I have envisioned in my head, but don't have actual reference for, as far as visual reference. Because, like, step away from this one and go back to that one. That one is the same species, just vastly different in overall build and aesthetic, especially whenever it comes to the legs and feet.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. So then whenever it comes to that, then it ends up becoming something a lot more definitive of its own. Now, the other variation...
Megan said, hey, y'all. How are y'all?
Ugh. The other variation looks akin to that. Now, I mean, that's not a final drawing. That's actually just a quick sketch at work. But
Megan asked, how are y'all?
well, I mean, we're here and we're drawing. Ta-da!
Another day, another dollar.
You make dollars? What?
I could if I made a dollar.
But I'm a thinking that aside from getting some clothing in there, let's see if I can remember how to draw the aesthetic that I was going for whenever I initially designed this. Because the design itself is years old, and it's only evolved and adjusted over the years, but
Speaking of nerd stuff, have you seen Samaritan yet?
I have not yet.
Neither have I.
It is on my list of to watch.
Well, it's supposedly based off of a comic, so.
Yeah. Truthfully, I haven't even gotten to watch Sandman yet, which bugs me because I was really looking forward to seeing it. But everything I've seen on it has apparently been bad. That's what's getting me, is like everything is massively, oh, this is wrong about it, this is wrong about it. Guess what, people? If it's done based off of something and it's done by Netflix, chances are it's not going to be completely accurate. That tends to be a reoccurring theme to Netflix, is inaccuracy in whatever it is that they're doing. I will say, though, the direction I went with this morning whenever I was working on it, or at least the techniques I was using while drawing, were definitely a lot more beneficial than anything that they ever taught me in high school.
Megan said, dude, you should totally send me one of your drawings and I put it on a shirt for you.
That would be cool. Truthfully, the logo right there, at some point I do want to have put onto shirts or something wearable.
We just so happen to have the replays, so thank you.
Right.
Becca said, did you expect anything
That
less?
shirt and this shirt both.
From you? No.
Megan said, I can do the logo also.
Truthfully, the logo...
Hi, Lisa.
Who?
Lisa. Yes, you do. You know who she is.
I do know who that is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, Lisa. I don't... Okay.
Her and her husband was wanting to play D&D with us.
Oh, them. Okay, gotcha. You know I'm terrible with names, honey. until I have talked to you a couple times, it might take me a minute to learn your name.
Megan said it's simple and I have the equipment to do so. I don't mind making one for you and Arwen.
Would be definitely awesome. And you know what? I think that works.
She said free, by the way. For free.
What do y'all think?
For free.
For free. Can't go wrong with free. Always enjoy free. And we'll have to get a hold of her and let her know.
She can send a private PM.
Yes. And
She said I can grab the shirts for $6 each and have all the materials
work?
already.
Ooh. I'm pretty.
What about the circles by his hips? You haven't erased it all yet.
no, once I put ink to it,
Then you will.
then I'll erase out. But I'm thinking that's about where we're gonna get with it.
Those arms are Goros. Actually, I think Goros are more on the side with it.
Yeah, Goros are.
He has them like on his torso. See, he has
Oh,
them
yeah.
on his torso.
Yeah, Goros
See?
ended up with an awkward shoulder build that is weird because Goro has that double pectoral thing going on, or at least older versions did. This one only has the single pectoral muscles, but everything is drawn out so like weird and awkwardly,
He's been eating some donuts. So.
right? Because
There was one up
what
at
is
the
it?
top.
That one? I think that one's one of the newer ones. That one looks a little bit better, but I don't understand how he puts his arms down. Like that's what gets me with Goro. And that was one of the things with these, like whenever I started working on the hexapodal build for these, each of them has evolved in a way that allows them to actually move those arms independently. But these arms aren't going to move all the way forward. Just like these aren't going to move all the way backward. The way the shoulder, the joints sit is one sits a little bit further back and arced upward to where it allows for more mobility in the back, allowing those arms to maneuver in a way that these won't, leaving these sitting in more of a forward-facing joint. If that makes any sense.
No, I got you.
Alright, Megan said I'll send y'all my email because Facebook makes pics quality crappy. So just send it via email and y'all can decide on what y'all want and I'll design them.
Okay,
Awesome
sounds good
sauce.
to me. Cause see, there's another one of Goro that like
I get it. I mean,
that's what.
it's like the upper. So like here's real barrel chested,
Yeah,
and then it just continues the trunk, the torso.
yeah.
And it's just out of the trunk of the torso.
Which
and it's
is-
just as thick as the top part.
Right, which is where this second set of arms becomes weird because, like, I don't. I can picture the way the skeleton would look, but then it
Might also be something off the spine too.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I can see where it would work, but not. I don't know. So there is that. All right. So now that I've got that part done, I am going to minor touch-ups And I'm going to call that good. I am. I'm going to call it good. Even though I could easily redo the abdomen and,
You can do some stuff off camera.
yeah, pull this inward in a way that
I don't know. Maybe make some tattoos.
makes it to where I can easily run muscle tone in that way. And yeah, I could easily tattoo it, but I don't know. As much as I would love to add tattoos to it, truthfully, I don't think tattoos would actually end up benefiting it very much. I mean, the species does, or the race is known for tattooing themselves, so that's a plus, but we just got to get to that point. Got to figure out exactly what works, what don't work.
Hello? Tribal tattoos.
Yeah, tribal tattoos would
Maybe
probably
some
work.
earrings in the ear.
All right. And I'm going to say we're going to leave it at that. And I'm going to move this table back down real quick. Ugh. And go back to face view. All right. So there you have it, guys. It's been fun hanging out with everybody. Again, I want to give a shout out and say thank you to those guys over there for helping us out with our technical problems. I would also like to give a shout out to that guy, those guys, that Raise Energy, these people. If you like energy drinks and drink them as often as I do, which even though that's probably really bad for my health, I got to keep myself awake at sometimes all the time whenever I'm up late at night working. And Raise Energy comes in handy for that. The energy drinks themselves are designed with a hydration formula built in, making it to where you don't end up massively dehydrated when you're out in the heat and stuff like that. Also, you don't have a crash because there's no sugar. There's no artificial colorings. And truthfully, I can't think of really anything in them that's bad for you. So that's a plus. If you are interested and you would like to check them out, go to repsports.com. Wrong one. Image. This might make it a little bit easier because I found one and I was like, hey, that works. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Boom. Alright. Slide that down. It's going to be wonky on the screen. But go to repsports.com. And whenever you go to check out, use the code TearFiendCrafts, all one word, to get a 15% discount on your order. If you are watching this on Facebook, come check out our YouTube channel. And remember to like and share the video. If you are watching us on YouTube, come check out the Facebook page. Tear Fiend Crafts, Handcrafted Arts, and Gaming. And if you've checked both of those out, we're also on Twitch. So there you go. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming out. And you guys, have a good one. Catch y'all next time.